Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to do a quick little video on how to package up handmade embellishments or goodies. I feel like lately I've been getting a lot of how-tos and questions. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put a little video together on how I do it. Okay, so for instance, these little circle embellishments, they're just 2 layered circles with some puffiness. I used a card placeholder as the bag topper, and then I just decorated it in this little baggie. So I just whipped up some embellishments real quick using the Santa Baby little chipboard pieces and a little rosette, and then some bows. And I love these little gems, and I love this. This is the Hobby Lobby paper, like that faux leather that's new. Hobby Lobby paper as well. And then this is the Aliexpress fabric-y glitter paper. So I think these two these all go together, you know, pink for pastel pink Christmas. Okay, so I have an entire, sorry if there's a glare because I know there's lots of lights. I have a little drawer of cellophane bags that are self-sealing, which means there's adhesive on it that you just peel off and stick shut. I also have several sizes of these little present or goodie bags. They look exactly like it, but these were only $1 for I don't even know how many are 35. You notice they look exactly the same, but they do not have any self-sealing on there. So a little tip, if you do come across these from a dollar store or Daiso Japan, if you have one, I'm sure other dollar stores have it. All you need is some double-sided tape and some scissors. So once you stick whatever it is, here, watch, let me stick this piece of paper in there. So once you get what you need and the size you know you want, cut it down so you have about 1 inch. Again, sorry for the glare, it's these lights. You're gonna just wanna get your scissors and go in between the two. You're in the bag. See how I'm in the bag? And you're just gonna cut right along the seam up into the edge of your cardstock or paper or whatever you're working with. Again, I'm cutting about 1 inch up, right where the cardstock ends. So say this was your front, you had your embellishment in here. You're going to go to the back side and you're going to cut that flap off, just that back side flap. And you're going to cut across, where's my scissors? So now you just have one flap, which is on the front. That can easily, boom, fold over. Now you have a little self-sealing bag. You would just add your double-sided tape down like that. Stick in your shaker bits, sequins, or whatever. If you are adding that, unpeel it and stick it. Sometimes I forget because I'm just in the zone, but I do stick the opening side of the bag at the bottom of your bag topper would be up here, because that way people don't have to destroy the top or the sides to get to the product, and they could potentially even reuse the paper and the topper as is and just, you know, or take out the embellishment. You get what I'm saying? They could reuse the bag if you seal it from the bottom. So that's another tip. Also, another thing is saving bags. If you're on a tight budget, go through some of your stickers or embellishments or anything, and you can reuse, as long as it doesn't say suffocation. You know, some of them have suffocation notices on them. But for instance, this Jot one is from Dollar Tree. It has a little topper. You could easily just get paper, cover it, fold it, boom, and you're done. Just measure it correctly. Or if you'll notice on this one, it has a little peeling part. So you can undo that and slide out this piece of chipboard or whatever this is, the price tag, and slide, obviously you're gonna measure. You can slide a little piece in, seal it back up, and boom, you have a custom little topper. You could decorate it before, if you just want to do a simple sticker on there. If it's very one-dimensional, you could decorate that beforehand and stick it in there. So that's another thing. I do save a lot of bags because if they come in an unusual size, I'll save it because sometimes I do need that. Most of the time, I buy already bags with the self-sealing. It's easier that way. You don't have to get your double-sided tape. You don't have to cut stuff, you know, less work this way. But these are more expensive, you know, they run from anywhere from $5 to, depending on what size you get, they can get up in the $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 range. They also have these little so I get my bags from Amazon. I'll link some down below. I also get them off of Aliexpress, depending on how much time you have, because Aliexpress, they can take their time, you know. Amazon, you're gonna get it in 2 days. So just depending on if you're running low, like I have a ton left, so I'm not running low on that size. But there's also these self-adhesive bags. These are from Hobby Lobby if you have one. I will check if they are available online, and if so, I'll link it down below. This is in the jewelry making section, so by like all the wires and pliers and whatnot, and it comes with a set of three sizes. These are obviously much smaller. I use the little tiny ones for sequins mixes, and you notice it has a top section with like a hole punch and this perforated part. I will just stick cardstock over the whole thing, or sometimes I just like to cut it off, because the minute you add hot glue, the plastic will shrink up and melt. So sometimes I just cut it all the way off, just depending on what my topper is going to be. This one, I'll send a generous amount of a sequins mix. And then this one, I'll stick like 2 smaller embellishments. Like for instance, these guys, I would probably stick them in like this. And I like to do them at like diagonal versus like this most of the time. I'll go diagonal. So that's probably the size I'm going to use for that. And just other sizes I have, like I said, from Aliexpress or Amazon. This is a good size that I think will fit these bows. Yes, totally will. And remember also, like the closer you put your object, I have about 1 inch at the top, so that leaves room for me to glue my topper down. Like if you butt it right up to the edge where you're gonna fold it, you can't put a topper. Does that make sense? I hope so. So like that, you wouldn't really be able to put a topper. So put your bows a little bit close together or get a bigger bag, one or the other. Okay, so now I have my 2 bag sizes. And I'm gonna get my paper. I'm gonna use the Santa Baby collection. Except for I'm gonna use this side. Yes. Scoot these guys over. This is my scoreboard and cutter board. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. I do have to switch out the blade a lot, but I don't know if that's just because I use it a lot. Okay, so for the bow one, I think I'm gonna do this corner. And this is not like the proper way to like measure stuff. I just stick the bag on there half the time. I don't trying to measure and stuff just because it doesn't work out in my favor that way. Oops, oops. Okay, there's my scraps. I need to switch out that blade, so I'm going to use my little Paper Studio one from Hobby Lobby. Okay. So I know my bag has to go there. Obviously, you wouldn't measure the entire length of the bag because this part's going to fold. This part's going to fold over. Cut it down just a hair. Actually, a little bit. Probably about an 1/8 to a 1/4 of an inch skinnier than the actual bag. Only because I am sticking thicker embellishments in here. If they were just like flat, for instance, if they were just flat little tags like this, you're not going to have any bulge in your packaging. So you could cut the paper exactly the size of the plastic. So this one, I made it a little bit smaller than the actual package. As you can see, I got some room on the side here and here as well. And so I take this up. Oh, here's another like tip. Here's the next stage. These are heavy duty, as in like canvas and faux leather bows. So I'm gonna stick, because like a sticker wouldn't stick on this, it's like fabric basically. So I just do a tiny little glob of hot glue right in the center, swirl it off, you know, and then piece it where I know I want it. Probably should have done the bottom one first. And then just press down. Little glob. And then I'll show you a different method that I do as well. Like again, it just depends on how big and heavy your embellishments are. Like these bows are kind of heavy. In shipping, they might fall off the paper if I did it a different way. Okay. Boom, like that. Okay, there's that, guys. So let me stick it in. Again, sticking it in from the bottom, upside gorgeous Primo paper. Okay, so the next one, and my little circle embellies. I'm just gonna measure again. Go this way. Okay, so these little guys, these are paper, so obviously a sticker or something would stick to this. You can use foam dots, those flat circles. They're like for like photos and stuff. I don't know what they're called exactly. Or you could just do a little dab of hot glue and stick them on there so they could rip it off. Obviously, it's going to rip the back, but if they're using it as an embellishment, it's not going to matter. These are already pretty thick because I used chipboard, a rosette, so they're like off of the ground. But I did want to show you, like if you were using something flat, like an embellishment, say it looked like this or something, this little guy, I would puff this up on a little puffy circle. Here, let me try this. And let me show you the difference between these two. I have no clue where I got them or what they are. Most puffy, like, I don't know what these are called, pop dots. Let's see if you can tell on camera. Oh yeah, you can tell. See how this has a sheen? It's almost like a smooth plastic. Not plastic, but a smooth, like, water resistant material. And then this one is like, it's almost like cardstock paper. So there's two different things, and I'm gonna show you real quick. So I'm gonna do the paper one. You're just gonna stick the sticky side down. Since this one is paper, you could easily just glue it. Hold on, let me get a scrap piece of paper. You could easily just glue it down and leave that back piece on. So the sticky side you used, this side, leave that piece of paper on. And then the minute the person needs to go use it, they can just peel it off and it's ready to use, just like the stores, you know? So that's a really good, I'm just gonna try to stick it back on once it falls off though. Okay, so for instance, this one with the shimmery, shiny plastic, if you do that, I've noticed, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so it's a hit or miss. Stick some on there and go like this. Let me let that dry for a second. I've noticed because it is shimmery and slidey, the hot glue won't permanently adhere to it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it slid off altogether. So it just, I don't rely on this way, but I do, if it's a puffy dot that is shimmery and it's gonna slip and slide, just take it off, use the sticky side. They can pry off the stickiness, you know? Just don't be like pushing it down, making it super hard, like, cause they could bend their embellishment, you know? So those are two ways with the puffy dots. But most of the time I use hot glue because, yeah. Okay, so there's those guys. So these guys are super embellished. I'm not gonna puff them up more. Okay. So these guys, I'm just gonna, and for these ones, these are the Hobby Lobby ones. It has that 1-inch topper, so I don't need to compensate inside the bag. I can fill up the whole square. And this, just gonna do a little glob, tiny little glob. And just push those down. I like to use hot glue on thicker, heavier embellishments because I haven't had it yet where the person gets it and they're like falling down at the bottom in the package. So there's those guys. Super cute. And it's okay if they're a little bulky. It's just, it is what it is. These are really thick embellishments. There's those guys. Okay, and then these guys, I followed Martha's Creations here on YouTube. Tutorial, it's just Hobby Lobby trim, some Hobby Lobby leaves. I added those, copying Christina's D-Stash on Instagram. She added leaves, and I really like that. And then these foam flowers, which a friend, Gina, gifted to me. So anyway, these are some thick embellishments, you guys. So I'm going to show you these ones. These are from like Daiso bag. And then an even bigger bag from Daiso as well, several inches. Okay, so the paper that they're on, it technically fits perfect in this little goodie bag. The paper does. Because the embellishments are so thick, you have to add extra space, like, because it'll start, I'll show you right now. Shove them in. So it'll go in. Because the paper fits perfect, right? But look at your package. it is perfectly rounded. It is so wonky because the embellishments are way too thick, so that's when you have to cut your paper down. Obviously, I can't, my embellishments are too big, or get a way bigger bag. And that's what I would have to do with this. Stick in the bag with plenty of room on the sides to compensate for that big, bulky flower. I mean, it's still going to be a little bit bulky just because it's like bulkier, but it's not bowed like crazy. And then I would cut, like I just showed you, you cut the back, put some score tape. Make it a self-sticky bag yourself. Okay, so now let's do a bag topper real quick. Okay, so I found some scraps that I'm going to use for the top. Again, I just get it and fold it up against my package or my package on top of it to know how wide I need to make it. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to use this guy. And this one you're going to want to go right up to the plastic, if not a hair over. Okay, so depending on your style, I haven't cut this bottom piece, but you're just going to want to know how much you have. If you literally only have a sliver and you really want to use that piece, just glue it to the top. You don't have to have it on the back technically, but I like to fold it over. It makes it more sturdy and thick. So I know that I want it at least probably like 2 inches. Maybe 2, I'm just going to go a little over 2 inches. Actually, I'm going to go way over because I want to do a decorative edge. Okay. So, perfect, like that. You could easily just fold this in half right there and you have a rectangle topper, which is what I do a lot of the time. This one, let me measure. Just a little. I'm going to use a Martha Stewart punch. You could use wavy scissors, whatever else you like. So I'm going to punch that out now. Okay, so I just punched those out with that little Martha Stewart punch for both of the toppers. And before I fold it in half, I do want to add some gold thread stitching on here, so I'll do that now. So now that I've stitched both the toppers, I just did a zigzag stitch with some gold thread. This gold thread is from Walmart. It's metallic gold. And then this one I did like a stick stitch. I don't know, I'm making up names now. So now you're just gonna want to fold the edge of your paper to, if you fold it all the way to the bottom, you will see the white part on the back of your design. So I kind of just line it up to wherever the design that I hole punched out or whatever, cut with my scissors or whatnot. Or you could use your border edges. I use those as well, but sometimes the hand punch is, you know, quicker. So now I'm just gonna hot glue and since the plastic on this specific topper doesn't go, I know I want it like right here-ish. Crease it down with the hot glue. It's butted up because I use this size bag. It's butted up right to the design of the topper. I'm not sealing it yet. You'll see why. So this guy. Okay. Hot glue. I start with the bottom piece. The back piece, I don't know why. I think it's easier to get your plastic and, you know, maneuver it in there. And since this plastic piece covered the entire back part, you're gonna have to put more glue for the top piece versus the other one, the paper overlaid on each other. Okay, so a little topper. It's kind of crooked. Oops, or is it the paper? Oh, never mind. Okay, so there's that. Then with all the scraps, because I saved everything, I do a little, like a little banner style. I don't know what else should I do. Let me just do some tree stuff. Cut a little sliver just to make a little what's this called? Fishtail tag, which is cute. And then this one, I'll use this paper. It's like almost like a sweater. So just a good way to use up your scraps and stuff. I do want to line this like with 2 flags. I'm just using this to measure. Whoa. Just so I can kind of layer them, you know, it gives it that extra sparkle. I'm just going to glue them together before I put them down so I know that they stay like a certain way. Just like that. With a little peep of the white showing. And then I'm going to do that again for this one. Let's do this side. And then you can do it the opposite way. Go down. Then you can get some puffy tape. I'm just going to use this one. Just to give it dimension off of the topper. Okay, there we go. And then I want to add some little chipboard pieces from the Santa Baby collection. Absolutely love this collection. Just to cover the corner, you know, and then I could always stick a sentiment sticker right there. But I gotta dig through my Christmas stickers. I haven't done all that yet. I do like this little, ooh, it's on there good. Okay, so let me unstick this, the sticky part. Just gonna stick it down, and then I'm gonna add hot glue to this chipboard because I don't trust it. Angle it a little bit. How cute is this topper looking? Okay, then this guy over here, and you can always do it on the other side too, switch it up so it doesn't look like, you know, a robot made this stuff, whatever they're called. Okay, I'm gonna make him look like he's prancing through the snow. Super cute. I do want to add a little word sentiment on there. I just don't know where the heck those stickers are right now for this tutorial. And then I would add like gems and stuff or whatnot. Okay, so the last part of these not quick, this is a long tutorial because I want to show you like my process of how I do it. I do have some sequins left from my tag share I shared last week. So if I have leftover sequins, like I'll change it up a bit and I'll add different sequins or add more to it. I do love this white. Let's add some of this. This looks super dark, but when there's only a little bit of it, this is from Aliexpress. Ooh, yes, yes. A little bit more. And when you're doing these little shaker bits, I mean, I'm not the judge or anything, but if you're adding them to your package, make sure you stick with like bigger ones. Like, yeah, you can use these little ones, but if you put fine glitter in there, oh my god, it's gonna be like poof, glitter bomb when they open it. So I try to stick with bigger ones and sequins and stuff, or shaped glitter, like the bigger chunks of glitter. Okay, so I think that looks good. It's got lots of snowflakes in there. And now I'm not wasting the leftover of this mix. So then you notice I never unstuck it and whatever taped it down is because I knew I wanted to add some shaker bits. So I'm just trying to do half because I want to use all this up. Okay. Now you unseal and stick down. And now you have this, it's just like so extra, you know, just sparkling and fun. And I think I like that sound. Like, I don't know what that sound reminds me of, but it's just like jingling and jinging. Okay, and then the rest of it, I will pour into the other one. Unstick. This is always the last part. And you'll make your mix depending on how many baggies you have and whatnot. Or if you're working with just one, I get the direct sequins little containers and I dump it in like that. So look how cute. And they just like shake around and add that extra touch. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. You guys kind of see like this behind the scenes. This is how I package stuff up. Like I said, I'm going to add little word stickers and maybe some enamel dots or Nuvo drops or something to give it different layers of texture. So you have your chipboard, you have paper, you have thread, and then you would have like enamel dot, and then you would also have sticker. So I like when it has tons of things, but we don't always have time for that. You could slap a sticker on the top of a rectangle and call it a day. So it's totally up to you. All right, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.